Hi witches! So today's video is going to be some more beginner witch tips that I had as a practicing witch of now 11 years. Again, super sorry for the low energiness. If you saw my video yesterday, you know it's like tough right now. So I'm trying to stay consistent. I am finishing this project no matter what, and I'm really determined. So just hold on to your horses. It's about to get so good, you guys. I know I did a video about this a little bit earlier in the year, but I do want to just kind of like circle back around and touch on any things that I think are particularly pertinent to beginner witches that I don't know that I actually talked about the last time. So I wanted to like kind of reiterate some of the FAQs I get a lot in my inbox. Again, you are always welcome to inbox me wherever you find it is easiest. I have all of the social medias. I am really active on any of my social media platforms. I am active the most on Instagram and TikTok, of course. I'm definitely checking the comments on here. I try to reply as often as I can, but I am super duper active, like in terms of like messages on my Patreon. I try to give my patrons priority attention and just really want to work with them to make magic happen. So definitely, if you are interested, check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff. I post 3 extra times a week. I do like little blog posts, and it's about to get so much cooler. So like definitely I'm excited. So yeah, with all that being said, I kind of have to like get that out of the way. Let's get into like the meat of the video, right? The number one thing that I want to say to all beginner witches out there is don't get in your head. Trust your intuition, and everyone's unverified personal gnosis or UPG is really different. So I get people who are coming to me and saying like, I need a specific sign that this is the deity that is coming to me. What is that specific sign? And either I don't work with the god, and I will always be straight up with you about that. Like if I don't work with the deity, I will be like, hey, I'm not really sure. Like I can give you my advice, but I can give you my opinion, I should say, like, but I have not experienced this deity. But if it is someone that I do work with, you know, I feel bad because like my answer is always like, well, do you feel that in your gut? My experience with this deity might be completely different because we have different things to learn from them, right? So there are very like common symbols and signs associated with each god or goddess that you are working with. So if you're seeing a lot of those, I would say like maybe just like look into it, and you can always ask, right? Like you can always pull out a tarot deck or a pendulum. You can make it out of a necklace or something. Or whatever divinatory method that you would like, and you can just ask, right? So it might not be just like a very specific sign. It's like if it's the Morrigan, she might show you a crow or a raven, but she could also show you swords or like a river, like river imagery and stuff like that, or water, or she's even associated with horses and like fertility and stuff. She's a very complex goddess. But so it's really different for everybody, but there are general like things that she's known for, like I said, like crows and etc., and war and armor and swords and stuff like that. I find, and I actually had this validated by a friend of mine, that when I work with her, especially in tarot readings, she shows me a lot of like the suit of swords. So that's always kind of how I know she's the one who's like helping me in that moment. So that's just something I do. It doesn't mean that's going to work for you. You might have a completely different experience, but that's just me. So yes, don't get too caught up in the details of that, and trust your intuition, because I guarantee you like 99% of the time it's gonna be correct. Another reason I bring this up is because I know on TikTok there's like this debate going on about like tricksters impersonating gods. That's not really something that I have ever encountered. I'm not sure. Like I've always known that my gods are around me, and I've always known it was them, like pretty much like through my own verification methods, and by trusting my intuition. So I think that people, like, I don't know if it was like purposeful fear mongering, like that whole like the gods are leaving Olympus thing that was happening. Oh my gosh, witch talk is crazy. I don't know if maybe I'm just too deep into that world and this doesn't apply to anybody else, but yeah, I've never like encountered a trickster pretending to be a god. Like I just don't, that doesn't work for me. But you know, the best way to go about that is to vet your deities, I guess. And if that's something that you feel called to do, and doing divinatory methods, exploring those divinatory methods and going from there. That's kind of my best advice. So the next thing that I have noticed a lot, that I've just seen around the internet that I wanted to address, and I know I feel like a lot of the things I'm talking about are really internet based, but it's kind of where I am like existing as a witch, obviously, right now. So I'm like really deep into it. But tarot readers are not going to solicit you. If a tarot reader is popping into your inbox trying to get you to buy a reading, or like saying that they have a message for you and stuff like that, and you need to pay them like X amount of money for, you know, their services, like just look at the profile. If there's no pictures on it, or if it's like super duper new, or if it's spelled weird or has like a bunch of random, like if it looks sketchy, it is. Real tarot readers and people who are legitimate are not gonna like solicit you or inbox you. And yeah, like that's just like not a thing. So like just be careful. There are scams out there. I've also noticed a rise in like witchy like MLM stuff where it's just like buy this thing, like these essential oils and blah blah blah. And it's like it borders on, I mean, MLMs are already kind of culty, but like another thing is there are people who are trying to start cults out there, and like please just like be careful. If you are trying to join a coven or anything like that, like a group, they will never ask you for like an obscene amount of money for membership. Like I'm talking like thousands of dollars. There are sometimes membership fees for like local organizations and stuff that like go to host events and things like that. So that is something that I've seen, but it's different. Like it feels different, right? So they'll never ask you for like sexual favors or to like give them gifts or to, you know, do certain things that cross your boundaries. Whenever you feel a boundary is crossed or like being pushed, you are within your rights to like walk away from that 100%. So don't be afraid of that, and just be cautious of people. I know you guys all use your common sense, but again, I'm trying to be a responsible like crone and just let you guys know. Just be careful. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is the expectation of a daily ritual is really, really unrealistic. So if you are feeling like you're like, oh my gosh, I need to practice every day, don't, because I don't practice every day. Like there are days where I do like little witchy things, I guess. Like I carry a crystal in my purse, but it's not something that I'm like actively doing. So like doing daily ritual work is like very taxing energy wise. It's very taxing like in terms of time and stuff. Unless you have all the time. I mean, if that's something you like to do, fine. I'm not saying you can't, but for the majority of us, I feel like the idea of practicing every single day is really daunting, and it's something that I haven't been able to keep up with, especially not recently. So don't feel bad about that. Like, don't worry about it. The best thing that you can do is practice when you can. And for the most part, you're setting your own pace. Like we're not meeting any benchmarks or like taking any standardized like witch tests. Like you don't have to be at a certain point in your practice at any point, and you're not a lesser witch or better witch for like being further along or farther behind. It's not further behind or further along, whatever. Don't worry about it. So yeah, those are just a couple things like I wanted to touch on and reiterate on. I feel like I was kind of lectury and mean, so I'm really sorry if I came off that way, but I'm like really worried about like new witches who are just like, is this a thing? And I'm like, no, it's not. That's a scam. So just be careful out there. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down below and I can try to help you out. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully a little bit more high energy. I'll see you guys then. Bye.